there is still a clause on the contract that Maseko will not be sold back to either Pirates or Kaizer Chiefs in South Africa. So if he's returning to South Africa, he's not going to any of these clubs anytime near in the future.
Maseko has finally put pen to paper for signing for FC Copenhagen of Denmark. The deal was worth about 1.5 million euros, which in South African rand is 28 to about 29 million rands. Finally, Maseko has left Mamelodi Sundowns. I have Robert with me in the studio. Robert, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
And I have Chima Samuel, or Chima Samuel, or Chima Samuelson. Chima, G-Special, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Chima, finally, Maseko has signed for FC Copenhagen. Finally, Mamelodi Sundowns allowed Maseko to go. But I think it wasn't the best deal. I think Maseko would have remained in South Africa, either playing for Orlando Pirates or Kaizer Chiefs.
No, he can't remain there because this is Sundowns we are talking about, and Sundowns is involved. Honestly speaking, Maseko is not a bad player, but because of his style of play, I don't know what transpired between him and Sundowns. He wanted to play abroad, and Sundowns coach said it was not in his plan. Now, okay, let us move. Slavia Prague from Czech Republic has tabled down an offer even higher than this, but Sundowns were refusing to sell him then. But at the end of the day, after back and forth, why Maseko was training alone, then so many clubs came, Al Ahly, Pyramids, but Sundowns categorically told them that they cannot sell to them because of continental rivalry. So if they cannot sell to Al Ahly, in fact, Al Ahly made bid of more than 5 times. They were sending in bids for Maseko, but Sundowns refused to sell because they believe Al Ahly are their rivals. So then, now that he has been sold to FC Copenhagen in Denmark, there is still a clause on the contract that Maseko will not be sold back to either Pirates or Kaizer Chiefs in South Africa. So if he's returning to South Africa, he's not going to any of these clubs anytime near in the future. And he has signed a 3-year contract, 28 million rands. This is over 1.5 million euros, and then salary of within 53 to 62,000 euros per month. So which is approximately over a million, over 900 to 1 million rands monthly. And even in Sundowns, allegedly, I heard he was aiming up to that amount too, because Gavin Hunt was granted, saying something that he wanted to sign him to his club, but unfortunately for him, he's seen that the amount he earns there, maybe they cannot afford it or thereabout. So I think it's a very good one for Maseko because starting this new season without him getting a club where he will fully express himself, I think that would have been one of the biggest disasters of his career. A player that went to the World Cup, a player that scored the Bafana's winning goal against South Korea. I think nothing more, no matter what happened, it still shows the level of Sundowns. If a player that went to the World Cup can't get a shirt or can't be played in Mamelodi Sundowns as well, I think there is something either good or wrong somewhere. But for Maseko too, the eagerness to go abroad and play, I think that motivation has been there. So remember that he played the last 6 months in Cyprus after he could not get a shirt in Mamelodi Sundowns and performing there, going to the World Cup. He feels like there's no need for me to stay at home again. Let me go back to Europe where I can express myself more. And Copenhagen is not a bad club in Denmark. They're one of the top clubs in Denmark. So definitely, if he performs well there, Sundowns still retain about almost 15% sell-on clause from that contract. So definitely, it's a good one for him. But I don't know why Sundowns have to sell him lesser than the initial amount other teams were pricing. But at this point in time, if Sundowns do not sell, probably they might be losing. And Maseko also might be losing. So I think the best thing was just to agree and say they still made profit, 28 million rand. They are making almost 9 million rands from the money they signed him with from Super Sport United to Sundowns. So in one way or the other, Sundowns are still making money. So Maseko still gain from the deal as well.
Albert, Maseko finally signed for FC Copenhagen in Denmark. One of the biggest clubs in Denmark.
I think one of the biggest clubs even in Scandinavia, not only in Denmark, all the Scandinavian countries. I think FC Copenhagen is one of the best. 22-year-old, yes, Tapelo Maseko is an outstanding performer in the Bafana setup. They just concluded the World Cup. Though he has not had playing time with Mamelodi Sundowns, perhaps because Cardoso don't like his playing style and all of that. Every coach you see, a player may be a dazzling player. We see where people like Ricardo Quaresma couldn't make it up with a lot of goals. He's very skillful and all of that. So there are some players, no matter how skillful you are, some coaches may not like your playing style and all of that. So, but I think it's a nice deal. You understand? Going because he played for a Cyprus side last season, AEL Limassol, and you understand, and he played very well. But he find playing time had to come by with Mamelodi Sundowns. Now, Subisiso Zuma, who is a FC Copenhagen legend, was used as a sweetener for this deal to materialize. You understand? Because I think Zuma too see the talent in Maseko, and he doesn't want him at the age of 22 to be going into loggerhead with a team like Mamelodi Sundowns. And you see, if you don't go for this deal, because you want to look at how much was he priced, he was priced much more better than this. Now 1.5 million euro, approximately 28 to 29 million rands. He was much more priced than this before now. But you now ask, why didn't they allow him go before now? They have the contractual agreement from the first clubs that came in, do not actually suit the Mamelodi Sundowns chiefs or management whatsoever. So they allow him to go. So basically, that's one of the rules again. A legendary player plays, between a football club, and a football player, especially when you don't have maybe an history of social nuance or all of that. So Zuma's involvement in this contract actually made it to materialize, I think, 40 to 50%. You are trying to say, but Maseko, does he have the talent? Yes. Is he a player? He's an all-round player. You understand that certain coaches will want to use. You understand? He's not a player that they take the ball back. He's an all-attacking kind of player. Eyes on the goal. He can dribble. He can be a team player and all of that. So I think it's a good move in the right direction. He's going to Scandinavia, a team like Denmark, a prestigious club that has level in Scandinavia at large. So be it as it may, he may be a title contender with FC Copenhagen.
Okay.
Understand? You may find him coming to the Champions League or European League next season. You understand what I'm saying?
FC Copenhagen
you understand? They may be maybe conference or something like, okay, I think they want to play a playoff. Okay. You understand? So we may see Maseko playing in Champions League, Europa or the Conference League. So I think it's a nice one. His potential speaks a lot about him. Before the World Cup, he wasn't a consistent player for a period of time, but the few matches he was given the jersey to go and represent his nation, I think he played very, very well. Gave them a penalty and struck one goal in the course before they were eliminated in the second round. So I think it's the right move in the right direction.
Chima, do you think Maseko himself will want to come back to Mamelodi Sundowns, even if his contract expires with FC Copenhagen and they want to sell him to another club? And the clause means that the buy clause matter or issue that Mamelodi Sundowns will be the first option to buy.
Not as a first option. As a player, once you are making that move, you are not praying to go there and flop, because it's only when he goes there and does not perform well, that is when he can think of looking for a club in South Africa as we speak now.
I'm saying after the expiration of his club.
He cannot, if he does not do well, that is when we can be talking about. But as a player, you are not even thinking that now, because once you go there, the aim is to go there. Once you start your season, 1 season, 2 seasons, the club should even renew your contract. But once you play the first season and they see you have given your best and you are doing well, before the second season starts already, they might be telling you on how to renew your contract, maybe to give extra 2 years or 3, and he still has age on his side, 22 years of age. Then if they are not renewing you, that means there's other clubs, maybe in Belgium or in that other area where they might be bidding for you as well. So definitely Sundowns just put that clause there so that after going to Copenhagen, they will not, Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates will not come and buy him. So if peradventure he needs to come back to South Africa, he can go to Stellenbosch, he can go to Amazulu, he can go to Durban City, but he will not go to Kaizer Chiefs and Pirates within a period of time. There, only Sundowns can have the right to buy him back from that if he chooses to go back to Sundowns. Maybe by then a different coach will have been there or thereabout. But as it stands now, I'm not sure Maseko performing at the World Cup, going to this Denmark, he will not be thinking of PSL as it stands now. He is only thinking of how to succeed in the Danish league and there perform, get better offer, maybe probably move to places like Scotland, even the Premier League, or even if he comes to us, going to the US to make more money for himself before even thinking of going back home, just like Pasitao did.
Albert, do you think that was the right move that Mamelodi Sundowns did by selling Maseko to Copenhagen, considering that other leagues and other clubs came with a bigger offer?
It may not be an absolutely the right motive, but I think Miguel Cardoso as well played a role why Maseko left, because if Miguel Cardoso have actually indicated that he's in his plans, they will actually have left. So I think that's why I spoke about Maseko's leaving Mamelodi Sundowns. It basically because of the coach at the ends of affair. Because I know in South Africa there, in the Betway Premiership, there are a lot of clubs that actually want Maseko, but what they are, Sundowns were actually looking at, that they don't want to sell him not only on rivals Kaizer Chiefs or Orlando Pirates, every other domestic league contender. They don't want to give Maseko out to any of them because of, you understand, he may be rivalry and all of that. So going out of South Africa, I think it's a good one for him. It's a plus. Mofokeng left. Let Mofokeng go and explore Europe, the Belgian league with Euros and Jalos. Let Maseko go prove himself. So Zuma, I want a lot of them to travel. Let them go and explore the Western world. Let them make a name for themselves. So, but one of the things again, I still want to look critically well in this contract is they don't want him to sign even after Copenhagen 50% right for them not for Mamelodi Sundown or Pirates or Kaizer Chiefs not to sign. But if any other team aside these two teams come, he may sign. He may sign. Then after like 1 year of the contract, they still move to any of these teams. I think, there are some certain things that bind the particular contract. You understand? Because if he's moving now to a South African team after the expiration of his contract, it is not definite. I'm just saying it's not definite. Because from Copenhagen, we may see him in England, we may see him any part of the world. I get it. But I'm just saying, if it shades to be on that angle that he wants to come to England, back to better Premiership, he can go to any other team. I believe that's what the contract stipulates. But they don't want it to be a direct whatsoever. Yes, in the current contract. But to me, a player like Maseko, in my own point of view, I had wanted him to even play outside of South Africa. What I see him play in the World Cup, you understand? I wanted to play outside the shores of South Africa. Let him be one of those people in this generation at the age of 22 playing outside the shores of South Africa. Let him go and explore the world. Let him go and have much more experience to bring back forth into the Bafana setup. You understand? Let him be one of those people in his era that played outside and make name for himself. That's what I'm trying to say. But if he plays for a team like FC Copenhagen, coming to Club Brugge or one of those clubs, even in Germany, coming to Wolfsburg and all those teams in Germany, I don't think it's going to be a big team because there's something that's always very ideal about the way people see an African player. When you go to an European team, you perform consistently in your league. You perform in the Champions League, Europa League, or the Conference League 1 or 2 seasons. They knows that you've known the terrain, you've known the game, you are well experienced. Then they can prize you in to maybe the top 5 leagues in the world. But I think Maseko will have it. It just depends on how the coach will use him, how the coach see him, and how he exploits potentials.
Chima, any other thing to chip in?
No, nothing. I just wish him all the best of luck because the likes of Mofokeng are there now, Mbokazi, Makanya to Rangers, so he's also eager to go. And once he starts going there and other players too moving there and perform well, I think it will also help Bafana team. So good luck to Maseko.
Any other thing to say? What do you wish Maseko?
No, all the very best. All the very best. It's a player I like so much.
I say congratulations to Maseko. I wish him all the very best. He has finally signed for FC Copenhagen, leaving Mamelodi Sundowns, brightening up his future and keeping his future alive, his future football alive. I thank the Mamelodi Sundowns board that finally allowed him to go. Maseko is a very young man. He did not deserve what happened between him and Mamelodi Sundowns, but finally he has gone to FC Copenhagen. I will say congratulations to you, Maseko. Thank you, fans, for having us. I will urge you guys to like our page, share, and subscribe. And also, I still remind you guys about the jerseys we talked about initially. If you can assist us by giving us most of these mentioned jerseys from the PSL, which will be so much appreciated. We need an Orlando Pirates jersey. We need a Mamelodi Sundown, Stellenbosch, Kaizer Chiefs, Magesi, Amazulu, Polokwane, Chipas United, Megasi, TL Galaxy, a whole lot. Anyone that we can lay our hands on, we will so much be appreciative of it. Thank you for having us. God bless you all.